5:59 at the office. Miedo me da. I literally just got home, which is crazy. So today we're having our pasta. I have like no groceries. We're gonna try and like eat all the things that I have left before I move, because I don't want to have to like carry my groceries to the new house, to be honest. Yeah, I'm so excited. I got back from work really late because we have a lot of Christmas related topics open at work, and I just wanted to get ahead as much as possible for our meeting tomorrow. And now we're free. I'm gonna make my pasta. I'm gonna edit a YouTube video. Anyways, let's get to it. These are the PJs for the day. Super freaking comfy. And we're gonna make this a vibe. We're gonna try and make this kind of more like a vibe so that we enjoy our last week here. We're just gonna pretend like it's a normal week. So I'm just gonna like do a quick tidy up and try and make this more of a vibe for the last week that we're gonna be here, you know? I am feeling so good. So good about the situation. It's been like haunting me for 2 days. This is average, but this feels tidy and just so much cozier. I don't know, I just get like a New York style vibe from like window open like this, but I'm about to close it in 2 seconds. I just opened it for the video. We are gonna cook dinner. We're gonna make a tomato sauce for my pasta, and I might pour myself a little wine just to celebrate this last Monday at home, because I'm pretty sure the first official day I spent here was a Monday as well, and I remember having my little wine that same Monday. And yeah, it was such an insanely special moment. I waited my whole life to live alone, and I feel like I finally did it at 30, I guess I was 31, 30 or 31. And yeah, I paid 900 euros of rent for a year and a half, a little more than a year and a half. And I'm just super happy. I'm so thirsty because I have this glass in my hand. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna just enjoy the vibes of this freaking night. It is 8:42, not that late. I feel so fortunate to have a warm apartment to myself. Gonna miss this, guys. Gonna miss this. Fun fact. My fabric arrived. I am working on my scrunchie brand once again. It's vegan scrunchies made from the softest, most beautiful fabric. And I just got a meter of fabric that I'm gonna make tests with, because the last set of scrunchies were a bit too wide and less scrunchy. And so I bought my first batch of fabric. I don't know if I'm gonna sew it myself. I'm gonna try, because sewing is very expensive. And my mom used to have an atelier, so she is gonna help me figure this out. That was a safety hazard. Cheers. A Christmas movie, one of my last dinners alone, and it's raining in my favorite little corner.
Let's talk about champagne.
Yeah. I can't wait to be watching this in my new house again. Good morning, just had breakfast. Sorry about that. There. And watched a lot of this comedian on Instagram, and time got away from me. Anyways, now we're going to my parents' house because I have to work with them, and I just figured the easiest way to catch them both is surprising them there. I was gonna take a few things now. I'm gonna fill it up real fast and take things to my parents' house. Meeting time. Just finished our meeting. Wow, çok güzel burası. Mommy's views from her office. Good morning. we are going to the office. It's Wednesday, November 26th. I have a new intern since last week, so it's kind of like her onboarding week, and so I kind of have to be there. Then tomorrow I'm gonna start getting ready because on Friday we're signing the contract for the new apartment. And then Sunday is like the official move with the movers, but I'm gonna start packing tomorrow to start moving everything on Friday and Saturday. And that's about it. So yeah, now we're going to work, and that's it. I've mentioned how I want to do, well, I'm working on my vegan scrunchie brand again. And to be honest, I look like Dracula right now with this neck. To be honest, the rubber for my scrunchies arrived and it is not the rubber that I thought it was. So I'm gonna have to search for a different one. That's on one hand, and then on the other hand, I'm also gonna do other products. Anyways, I'm gonna go. Let's go. And we're back. You haven't seen anything, but it's been a whole day. But honestly, I just told the guard that I'm moving on, well, that I'm signing the apartment on Friday, and then I'm moving Sunday. Honestly, walking into my house alone with my dog, I'm just remembering the first day I got here, the first week here, the first time I like walked into my apartment, and my mom came to visit, and I just remember that like the outside of my door, and today I just felt it like it was the first day, and it made me so sad. I have done this before, and I feel like I'm also a little more worried than I used to be, like thinking of the worst case scenario out of fear. I'm gonna go to the bank because I need to deposit some cash. I'm gonna go to the grocery store and buy a few things, like just very basic things like bread, because I don't have any, and I am leaving Friday, so I don't want to buy many things. And that's it. And then on the way back, I'm gonna get this giant luggage that I got from the office to start packing things, and we're gonna start packing things. So the movers are gonna take like the big things like the couch, the TV, furniture, and the bed, and they're gonna bring back the things that were originally here. And then on Tuesday, somebody's gonna come in to clean the whole place, just so that I get my deposit back. And then obviously they're gonna take all these things, and they're gonna take it to the new apartment, which is very nearby, so it shouldn't be a big thing. You can't reach your food, buddy. Here. Oh, you're so cute. Now we're gonna see if he barks. Hopefully not. I guess the bank is closed. Well, off to our next errand. Did our groceries, got our luggage, and we're headed home. We're here for 2 more days. This is just for old time's sake. We're gonna have our one last kombucha in this apartment, which I'm so excited about. This is kind of like a full circle moment, because when I got here, I remember I was drinking wine at night, and it was something that I was very happy with. And then one of my goals became not drinking alcohol, or at least I ended up, trying to reduce the amount of alcohol that I drink. And so during the week, I stopped drinking alcohol for most of the days, except for the days that I had any plans out. And so one of the things that I kind of started drinking was kombucha. And it was kind of like my delicious replacement for alcohol. And that's why it's kind of like a full circle moment. Next era of my life, and this is officially the next era of my life because I'm moving out. Now we're actually gonna fill this gigantic suitcase up for like things that I'm gonna like pack up starting now. Okay, In this little section of the video, we're gonna answer, oh my god, I forget that I have a little mic so I don't have to scream. I'm just gonna answer some questions about living alone. I didn't think through any of these questions answered, so I'm just gonna answer with whatever's on my mind. I just ChatGPT'd questions about living alone. Like another full circle moment. I just feel like it's so cool that I actually have footage of like this experience years later. Looking back at these videos, I just wonder what I'm gonna think and feel. So, questions. I asked, give me a list of questions about living alone that people tend to have. Will I feel lonely? This is one of the biggest emotional concerns. Well, let's get into it. I just think that I'm gonna start unpacking. I think you will feel lonely. Let's be real. Like, let's be honest. You will feel lonely, and that is just another emotion that comes with being alive, and it's just not the end of the world. One of my biggest lessons is that everything is temporary. Everything is temporary. Like, if you're feeling lonely, I made a great video about how to get past that feeling of loneliness. It's called Alone, Not Lonely. Feel free to check that out. I think one of the best parts of living alone is that you figure out what works for you when you're feeling lonely to get you out of that funk. I think for me, for example, there is accepting it. And then one thing that is very important to me that I mentioned in that video is going outside. For me, going outside of my house and missing my apartment is the biggest lesson that I learned. It is the cure and medicine to all my problems about feeling lonely or about feeling any kind of way. Because you can feel lonely when you're surrounded by a bunch of people. So loneliness is something inside. Biggest thing you can do, if one of the things that are stopping you from living alone is the fear of feeling lonely, I would highly recommend living alone because it'll help you realize that you will be okay if you feel lonely. It's not the end of the world. You're capable of figuring it out, and it will give you confidence in yourself because you'll know that you are capable of figuring it out, and you'll have confidence that you can deal with that emotion. Next, how do I stay safe when I'm by myself? Security locks, emergency contacts, what to do if something goes wrong. I am a person who is literally afraid of everything. I've always been that way. One of my biggest things was that downstairs I have a bunch of homeless people who come and go, and I felt really unsafe at times. What's this? Oh. I felt very unsafe in certain specific batches of time, especially because I had this like drunk homeless man who would tell me that he knows where I live. And so I honestly, what I did is this man kept telling me that he knew where I lived. Every time he passed, he would yell across the street at me. He was usually drunk, but it was still scary. And the fact is, since I have a dog, I walked my dog morning, afternoon, and night. So obviously I felt very vulnerable because I have to leave the house at night and in the afternoon and in the morning. And at one weekend, I was just not having it. I was having a very bad weekend. I argued with my boyfriend, and he was yelling at me across the street drunk, and I yelled back, and I showed him my crazy. And never again did he yell at me or acknowledge me or look at me. Don't suggest that method, I'm gonna be honest. But what I do suggest is I realized later on that there's a gigantic security camera downstairs. My apartment is kind of like, the entrance is kind of like inside the building. So it felt kind of, I realized this after signing the contract, and I don't like that because I have to like walk a little and I can't see who is in the street when I'm already getting in through the door. So I would look for a door that is on the street, like not a little in the inside of the building, on the street. Security cameras in the building help. My door weighs like 20 kilos, no joke. It's so hard to open, the one downstairs. And so as soon as I walk in, like I can barely hold it, and it closes right behind me. So it's really hard to like walk in behind me, and that gave me a huge sense of security. The lights in the building turn on automatically once you open the door. So that made me feel really safe versus my previous apartment where I had to turn on the light myself. Makes a big difference. It makes you feel very safe. And I think this building was made this way knowing that the area is not unsafe, but it's not the safest either. I'm actually gonna pack now. Okay, we're back. I just had to take a call from my mommy. Oh yeah, this is my last night living alone. Crazy, 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 crazy. Living alone in this apartment because tomorrow night my boyfriend's staying over and that will officially be the last night in this apartment. So yeah, I think my little mic is about to die. I was going really slowly. Anyways, I think it's so funny, so ugly. I had to hide it in here. Actually, now that I look at it, it's not that ugly, but I remember doing it and I literally hid it backwards in here. I might get rid of a few of my little hobbies that I accumulated in here. But yeah, no. It's so funny to go through all of these things and just remember like all the things that went through my mind of like small businesses and random hobbies that I decided to take on, like these clay thingies. I haven't opened this drawer in like months. Thank God I don't have to weigh this luggage. I don't know what's gonna be of it when I turn it over, but it seems as though there's so much more space still to fill. Like it's kind of like flimsy, and because there's glass and stuff, I might just try to fill it a little bit more. I'm gonna miss Blue Hour the most, but I'm also gonna miss this vibe, which is like very New York. So many things going on in the apartments outside my home. I go in small luggage. We're gonna make like a hobby space in my parents' house, in my room, and I'm just gonna reduce all the clutter. Okay, wow. Good morning. We woke up at 5 a.m. Not gonna lie, 5:30, and I got out of bed at 6:59. I remember the exact minute when I decided it was about time. Anyways, I'm gonna go to the office. It's actually quite late considering I woke up that early, but I did edit my thumbnail for my YouTube video. I did post my video. We brought the little luggage from my car because we're gonna fill that up with these things, and then I'm gonna bring a bunch of boxes in my car where I have all the things that were in this apartment before I moved in. And so one of my friends is hosting a big Thanksgiving dinner with her sister. They host it every year. And my boyfriend's coming like 2 hours later after dinner. So yeah, that should be interesting. I'm not used to going places with lots of people on my own. But I don't want to miss out. And yeah, we're off to the office, guys. Toodaloo. Hey, yo. Hello again. I don't think I filmed anything since the last time I was here, so this is gonna be a weird transition. It is 7 p.m. and I am feeling that I woke up at 5:30. I had a dinner. My dinner starts at 7. It's 7 and I just walked through my home's door. I need to get dressed. I don't know what I'm wearing, but I'm wearing earrings and I'm wearing a different shirt underneath, a really cute one, and this sweater.